Money does not buy happiness. Now, you know who says that? People with money, because they know it's true. There's a lot of things that money can buy. Money can buy influence. It can buy fake friends. Money can even buy you a fake girlfriend, or in the case of Gay Gayerson, a boyfriend. Fake relationships, though, that's not the only thing that money can buy. It can also buy temporary happiness. But if you are looking for true happiness, money is not the solution. And we were given further proof of that this weekend in the secondary dump known as Unrivaled. For decades, what has been the number one complaint amongst dump divers in the WNBA? Well, Casey, it's the lack of attention and mainstream recognition. Misogyny is preventing these elite athletes from achieving greatness. That's one of many complaints, but you'd have to go all the way to page 718 in the book of Dump Diver Complaints to find lack of attention and mainstream recognition. Well, KC, it's travel accommodations. These elite athletes can't perform at a high level because they're sleeping on the floor at Motel 6. Long nights of sleeping on the floor is the reason for the record number of airball dunks. Although accommodations did make the top 10, it is not the number one complaint amongst WNBA players. For decades, the number one complaint in the WNBA has been their minimum wage salaries. The manager at Best Buy is making more money than your average rookie in the WNBA. The cashier at 5-Star Frank's, where the supersized cucumber is chilled and the wiener is always grilled. The cashier serving fresh wiener is making more money than the average dump diver in the WNBA. But that's okay. That's okay. Unrivaled was designed to change that. The entire premise of Unrivaled was to give the minimum wage earners in the WNBA the opportunity to make real money. Unrivaled was giving them the opportunity to earn dollars instead of pesos. Navisha Collier, Brianna Stewart, along with their primary subsidizers at TNT, they wanted to step in and be the hero. I can be your hero, Freddie. Gone are the days when WNBA players had to travel overseas to make money. Bob Griner no longer has to worry about her friends Cheech and Chong being detained in Mother Russia. Bob Griner no longer has to sit in a Russian jail praying that Just for Men will be offered through the commissary. WNBA players no longer have to travel overseas to be oppressed. They can be mythically oppressed right here in America and make money at the same time. For the first time ever, Unrivaled is giving WNBA players the opportunity to make dollars instead of cents. Since low salaries are the number one complaint in the WNBA, you would think that WNBA players would finally be happy, finally be satisfied. Not only is Angel Reese not happy, not only is Angel Reese still bitter, over the weekend, Angel Reese once again lost emotional control as she got on social media and expressed her desire to return to the minimum wage that she was making in the WNBA dump. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel's in the description below. This morning on the second channel, we talked about the Luka Doncic trade in the NBA. More specifically, we talked about the potential impact the trade could have on the rest of the league. Not on the court. I'm talking about the impact that it could have between players and franchises. Now, I could be way off base here, but the way I see it, this trade sent a clear message. NBA owners, they are finally taking the power back from superstar players in the NBA. So if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and subscribe. I received some breaking news this weekend, news that is sure to shock people outside of the Reese family. Headline at the Villainous Angel: Angel Reese is important. Really? Angel Reese is important? To who? I have been covering Angel Reese for about 2 years now. I have yet to see her draw a single fly to a fresh turd. But according to Angel Reese, everything I do keep going viral. Let me ask you guys something. How many of you guys heard about what I'm about to share with you? How many of you heard about Angel Reese becoming the first player to get ejected from a pretend basketball game in Unrivaled? Hell, how many of you even knew that Unrivaled was still in business? After seeing the ratings through the first 2 weeks, I'm surprised that TNT hasn't kicked Unrivaled out of the studio that they're playing games in, so the network can use the studio to produce something that people will actually watch. Over the weekend, TNT presented an exciting matchup between the Laces and the Roses. My inside sources are telling me that the dozens of people in attendance, they were actually using the Laces as a blindfold so they could shield their eyes from the atrocious product on the court. Late in the second quarter, the Roses were leading by 8 laces. One of the laces, she tried to run into the stands to take the laces off people's faces to tie up the score, but people were blindly running out of the studio so fast, she couldn't catch up to them. Angel Reese was defending one of the unknown laces as she was dribbling the air out of the miniature ball. It was so quiet in the studio, you could literally hear the ball bouncing off the court. I think TNT turned the mics up on the announcers so their voices could mask the sound of the ball. Angel Reese, she is playing staunch defense, which in pretend basketball, that means Angel Reese was standing still as the other players struggled to dribble and move around her at the same time. At one point, Angel Reese moved her feet, which resulted in a foul. Angel Reese complained about the call, which resulted in a technical. She complained again, which resulted in Angel Reese being ejected from the game. I muted the sound in the clip for copyright reasons, but watch the exchange for yourself.
Reese was gesturing towards Hayes, and maybe the official thought it was to...
Angel Reese was just tough.
First of all, were those empty seats in the background, or is that just how the studio is set up? If those are empty seats, that ain't good. 3 weeks into the season and Unrivaled is struggling to sell out a studio that seats 800 people? I thought Angel Reese was a draw. I thought Angel Reese was a huge star. Now, in fairness to Angel Reese, I thought both technical fouls were bullshit. I don't know the rules for Unrivaled. I don't know if players aren't allowed to talk on the floor. Clearly, they are not allowed to move their feet on defense. They are not allowed to impede an opponent's progress into the paint, which makes sense since WNBA players struggle to make wide open layups. Contested layups? Forget about it. I did not understand the foul or the ejection, but luckily, there were plenty of lonely men on social media to explain it to me. According to lonely men, this is mythical racism. That evil white man ejected Angel Reese on the first day of Black History Month. Yeah, I'm sure Unrivaled thought about diversity when they were hiring officials. Matter of fact, I can pretty much promise you they attempted to hire officials with diversity in mind. Problem is, they couldn't find anyone willing to officiate these games. So the handful of people that applied for the job, they were instantly hired. Angel Reese, she decided to subtly put fuel on this flaming ass fire. She sent out a tweet that said, "Happy Black History Month. Y'all know I had to be the first." First. What? The first player to miss a layup? The first player to get ejected? Is that what we're bragging about? Most players are proud of scoring titles, MVP awards, or making first team All-NBA. Angel Reese, she is bragging about being the first player ejected from a league that no one is watching. But what I thought was really interesting was what Angel Reese said next. Check it out for yourself. As you can see, she used proper pronouns when addressing her colleagues in the WNBA. Man, I can't wait to get back to Chicago. Really? Really? Now, don't get me wrong, Chicago is a great city. I hope to spend a summer in Chicago here in the next couple of years. If I was stuck living in a studio in South Florida, I'd want to get back to Chicago too. But that is not what Angel Reese is saying here. Let me translate the tweet, because what Angel Reese is actually saying is, I can't wait to get back to the WNBA. What? Excuse me? You can't wait to get back to the dump? Let me ask you something. If you were making $73,000 a year and someone offered to pay you $250,000 for the same job, would you be complaining about it? Would you be disrespecting them publicly? Not only are they offering you significantly more money to perform the same job, or in this case, not perform, they're also giving you more money for less work. Unrivaled is paying Angel Reese $250,000 for 8 weeks of her time. The WNBA pays her $73,000 over 5 months. And you're telling me that Angel Reese is begging and ready to return to the dump? Angel Reese is begging to go back to the league that pays her less money? You know, I used to say this all the time. There is no such thing as satisfying players in the WNBA. WNBA players will never be satisfied. If you upgrade from Motel 6 to the Holiday Inn, they demand the 4 seasons. If you upgrade from the Broom to the Bus, they demand coach seats on Delta. Once you give them coach, they demand first class. And eventually, they demand chartered flights. Angel Reese is under this illusion that popularity on social media makes you a mainstream draw. She captioned a headline from Sports Illustrated and claimed that everything she does goes viral. And look, Angel Reese isn't necessarily wrong. Angel Reese is extremely popular with lonely men on social media, but that popularity does not equate to ratings. That popularity does not equate to ticket sales. People are not paying money to see Angel Reese play basketball. If they were, the high school gym in Chicago, it would be sold out. If people wanted to watch her play, Unrivaled would not be struggling in the ratings. The unpopularity of Unrivaled, it is an indictment of Angel Reese. On paper, she's the most high-profile player in this league. Think about it. Name another player in Unrivaled. Name one. Angel Reese is by far the most high-profile player. In the media, they want you to believe that Angel Reese is a draw. Yet, for some reason, people can't seem to find the interest. For some reason, people aren't watching. Why? You tell me, if Angel Reese is a big star, how come people aren't watching her play basketball? Also, give me your thoughts on Angel Reese begging to return to the WNBA. I thought it was a direct shot at Unrivaled, but what about you? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Best way to contact me is through email, btlkc84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys later.